Hey guys, it's Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, and today I'm going to be giving you my first TBR of 2021. So, there are a surprising amount of books on this TBR, considering that I haven't been reading a lot lately. Like, yeah, it's a new year, but like, last month still happened. It isn't as bad as it looks. Okay, so, let me start off, first things first. Is me and Olivia from Olivia Savannah, Olivia's Catastrophe, I will link her channel down below. We are going to be buddy reading War and Peace, but not in January, in the entirety of 2021. So we should get to about, I'll put a little thing in, there we go, we should read about this much. Because we're going to read one chapter a day. One day we're going to have to, like 1 or 2 days, we're going to have to read 2 chapters. But yes, this is an entire year's worth of reading. We want to read 31 chapters of War and Peace in January for the 31 days. The idea is to read 1 chapter a day, but obviously like you can do more than one to like keep ahead of things if you know like things are going to go bad or like if you catch it up. Not the entire thing, because it's like 958 pages, my copy, but ta-da! And then another kind of partial read that I'd like to do is Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. I didn't read any of it in December, so I've also got this tabbed up in a different way, but basically in the sections, and I would like to just finish the section, which isn't too much, it's like 50 pages. That's fine. I just want to read those 50 pages, and then maybe if it goes well, I'll try and do the monthly thing. We shall see. Then for the last 2 physical books I'm going to be reading, because I'm reading ebooks this month. Why do I do this to myself? Physical book, I'm going to go with the one that's probably going to be read on the 1st of January. Don't ask me when I'm putting this up, I don't know. But as I'm filming it's like the 29th, 30th, I don't know. Look, it's so small. So this is Astrid Lindgren, and it's got The Most Beloved Sister and Mirabelle inside of this. In total it is 19 pages. I've had to hold off on reading this, but I was given a selection of Swedish classics, mini Swedish classics. She is Swedish, so she saw them and they were written in English and she was like, Abby, you need them. She was right. So I just want to read at least one of them at the beginning of the year. I think it's going to be a great start to the year, being able to tick this teeny tiny book off of my list and experience more authors from more countries. And this is the author, Astrid Lindgren. We have mail. Who wrote Pippi Longstockings. We have a lot of mail. Anyway, this is the author that wrote Pippi Longstockings. I've not read that, or if I did, I read it when I was like little, so I don't remember, but I'm excited for this one. I'm genuinely having to like stop myself from just picking it up now. And then the other physical book I'm reading is Gone by Michael Grant. This is an older YA series that is where all of the adults disappear. Oh yeah, I didn't say what the other books were about. Why did I do this? Why do I do this? This is a load of rich Russian people in like the 1800s, is essentially it. This is Nelson Mandela's autobiography. And this I don't know, because it doesn't really say, it just has a quote on the back. Now, back to Gone. I do this every fucking video. This is where all of the adults disappear from the world, and I think it's like 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds and under are the only ones who remain on the planet, and obviously everything goes into a giant shit show because they don't know, like, the first one in my head is nuclear power plants, they're gonna go kabomb. Like, the electricity's gonna stop, the Wi-Fi's gonna stop, running water's gonna stop. So I assume this is them trying to like figure that out. I did watch a TV show and I cannot remember the name of it, and it was produced by CBBC, which is the kids branch of BBC, if you're not English or Scottish or Welsh or Northern Irish. Why? They did something very, very similar. I think theirs was 16, which is why I got that mixed up, so I'm assuming that it's just going to be the same sort of thing, and I liked that, so I should like this. It is 560 pages, but it's also a middle grade, so I'm hoping the 2 balance out. We'll see. And then on to the ebooks. So I have the ways I'm going to read them right here. I'll start with this one. So this is going to be how I read A Wish After Midnight by Zetta Elliott. This is our pick for the small press book club that me and Caitlin from Manchester Rabbit are going to be hosting once again this January. This is self-published books. We find them mainly on Amazon, but we're open to other locations if you know of anyone. And we read them, and we rate them. We did it with Queendom of the Seven Lakes by A.B. Endicott. We both loved it. So we're hoping that we're going to love... Why am I holding this up? I'm going to have the picture here. We're hoping that we're going to love A Wish After Midnight by Zetta Elliott. So, fingers crossed. And that's one I definitely have to read. And lastly on this little bad boy is The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. So this is the prequel novella. It's more like a teeny tiny book. Like, I imagine if it was printed, it would be a similar size to this. And it's from the Bone Season series. It's like the little thing that was published in the series that like describes people. So I want to read that. I'm doing this for the, what is it called? Buzzword Readathon or Buzzwordathon or whatever that Kayla from Books and Lala was doing individual rounds of, but this year she's just hosting it as a year-long block, and the prompt for January is Dream. So I'm going to read The Pale Dreamer. I really need to get round to this because The Mask Falling is coming out like late January, so I'm planning on reading that in February. So I want to get around to this before then. There is also The Dawn Chorus, which is another novella, but like I think I'm pushing it if I try and read both of them. So I'm going to research and see if I need to read that before I can read The Mask Falling. No one cares at this point. The Pale Dreamer. I'm going to read it. And then for the ones that I'm going to be reading on this bad boy. So this is my tablet with a projector in it. And on this I can actually access the Netgalley app, which I can't do on my phone because it's an iPhone 6. Oh, there's left on red. No, don't play. Don't play. I was watching YouTube videos. But on this I can access the Netgalley shelf, and off of Netgalley I got 2 books. The first one, that is really low pixelation. So it's the Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 different chapter books about these girls. It is in a kind of graphic novel format, which is why I'm going to have to read it on here rather than on the Kindle. But I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be really short but really interesting because it's non-fiction works telling you about strong and empowering women, and it's meant to empower kids. So although that is like technically like 600 pages in total, they should be really short books that I can hopefully speed through. And then, I was loading this up as I talked, then Quincredible is the other one I have, and this is a comic and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so beautiful. So this is just one that I saw the cover art and went, hey, I need it. So I'm gonna have to read through that as well. Yeah, and this is all a lot more than I've ever read before in a month since I got this job. But we're gonna try. We're probably gonna fail, but we're gonna try. So I mean the stack half makes it look worse than it is, but then also I don't have a lot of the books here. Like there's the 5 books for Rebel Girls that are all like 100 pages each. Then there's Quincredible, there's The Pale Dreamer, there's Wish After Midnight. Are there any other ebooks? I think that's it. Ta-da! This is my January reading plans. I'm probably not going to manage it. In terms of what's probably going to be left by the wayside, I imagine the first thing to go will be reading any more of Long Walk to Freedom. I am just going to have to sit down and read this at some point, but it isn't my priority right now, so that's probably the first thing that's going to go. And then Gone will most likely be left by the wayside if I am struggling too much with my reading. And then most likely Quincredible and the Rebel Girls stories, because the other ones are a little more important for me to read, and this one I have no excuse. Zero excuses. And that's my January TBR. I know it's too big. What are we going to do? Let me know down below what you are planning to read for the first month of 2021. I keep wanting to say 2020. We have escaped that hellhole. 2021. Let me know what you want to read that month. Are you going to join in with any of the readathons I mentioned? I believe there was 2, which is the Small Press Book Club by me and Caitlin, and then also the one being held by Kayla for Books and Lala for the Buzzword Readathon. Let me know! And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next mess of a video. Bye!